presenting Meteopod.
Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Meteopod, your go-to podcast about weather, climate and everything in between. I'm your host, Omri, and I'm so glad to have you here. This show episode is indeed not according to the usual schedule. I'm well aware of that. But, as you might already know, severe weather doesn't stick to schedules either, and I'm here to provide you with important information you might want to get a grasp on before the rest of the stormy days we ought to experience this week, and also in order to recap on what we have experienced up until now. Without further ado, let's jump in. This multi-day severe weather event is far from getting over, and in fact, we are just getting started. According to the latest forecast from the Storm Prediction Center, the SPC, the risk of severe weather persists over the next few days. Today, May 18th, a broad area of slight risk stretches across much of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, extending into northeastern Texas. Major cities in the crosshairs include Meridian, Tyler, Wichita, Little Rock, Jackson, Shreveport, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. In total, approximately 12.1 million residents fall under the slight risk zone for severe weather, and as we are speaking, I'm getting alerts of severe weather in Oklahoma City and near Pine Bluff. We are also seeing severe clusters in and around Fort Smith. Guys, take shelter, it is no joke. Today's primary threats include significant severe hail and strong gusty winds, particularly targeting Oklahoma and the Arklatex region. Oklahoma is firmly in the spotlight, with a few tornadoes possible, although they are not expected to be the main concern. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow, May 19th, the threat level escalates as the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, issues an enhanced risk, a solid 3 out of 5 on the severity scale. The slight risk recedes from Mississippi and Louisiana but pushes further inland into Kansas and Oklahoma, impacting cities like Springfield, Omaha, Kansas City, and Lincoln. Meanwhile, the enhanced risk zone centers around Wichita, North Platte, and the surrounding areas. Tomorrow's main hazards include the potential for severe hailstorms over 2 inches in diameter, with some areas possibly seeing hail as large as 4 inches. Additionally, there is a plausible chance of EF2 tornadoes and stronger, with Wichita and Bartlesville sitting squarely in this risk zone. Surrounding areas should also remain on high alert. While damaging winds are anticipated to be more sporadic and less intense, they won't be the primary threat outside of the most severe storm cells. And live updates from Oklahoma City: another severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Oklahoma City, Shawnee, Moore, and Edmond. We are seeing the storm develop in real time, and it is only expected to get worse today, tomorrow, and on Tuesday, but more about that in a bit. Before we wrap up, let's touch on timing, using Wichita as a reference point. Radiosonde data, gathered from weather balloons equipped with measurement tools, indicates that storm activity is likely to initiate around 21 Zulu time, or roughly 4 p.m. local time in Wichita. The atmosphere will begin to churn during the late afternoon, but the storms are expected to dissipate relatively quickly after sunset as the available energy wanes. As we are seeing right now live, the storms are not exclusive to after 4 p.m., but their strength will escalate after 4 p.m. as the atmospheric conditions are getting just about right. It is now around 6 a.m. Zulu time, and we are already seeing some clusters of severe thunderstorms popping up. So, while it might not be especially likely for them to become severe and keep their severe potential at this time of day, it is important to remember that as long as the SPC risk is in place, they are capable of producing conditions above the severe limits in any time of the day. As always, stay alert, stay informed, and keep your weather radios and alerts handy. The atmosphere may be unpredictable, but preparedness is our best line of defense. Talking about weather radios, let's talk about staying prepared and staying safe. When severe weather is on the way, it's essential to have multiple ways to receive alerts. And no, sirens alone are not enough. Sirens can fail, they might not be audible indoors, and they are often the last line of warning. Instead, use a combination of methods: weather apps, TV broadcasts, and a reliable weather radio. The more ways you have to get information, the better. Stay informed by following trusted weather sources like the National Weather Service, the NWS, local meteorologists, and official emergency management agencies, like your local emergency manager. But here's a crucial point: be mindful of misinformation. In times of severe weather, false information can spread quickly. Sharing unverified updates can create confusion, amplify fear, and potentially put people in danger. So, before you share that alarming post or tweet, make sure it's coming from a credible source. Staying calm and informed can make all the difference in an emergency. For now, let's dig a little deeper into the why behind all this turbulence. What's causing this sudden surge in severe weather? The key driver here is an upper-level trough, essentially a region of lower barometric pressure in the upper atmosphere that's pulling moist air from the Gulf straight into the plains and the southern US. Think of it like a massive funnel, channeling warm, humid air northward. Meteorologists often refer to this as an atmospheric river, and it's precisely what's setting the stage for these intense storms, including severe thunderstorms, possibly tornadoes, and heavy torrential rain. Complicating matters further are the powerful upper-level winds, which are expected to intensify as we move into Monday and Tuesday. These stronger winds can increase wind shear, creating the conditions necessary for severe storms to form and sustain themselves. But keep in mind, the situation is still evolving. Forecasts are continuously updating as new data rolls in. Looking a bit further ahead, long-range projections indicate that this atmospheric funnel may change course as the week progresses. If that happens, we could see a shift in the pattern, with colder air from Canada pushing southwards. This would bring a surge of precipitation to the eastern US, but it would also likely put the brakes on severe weather, at least for a while. As always, stay tuned, we are monitoring every twist and turn in this evolving weather setup. And if you'd like to stay informed, I recommend you going on Threads, searching Omri, Meteomri. It is my account, I am on there, and I repost and post important information bits and bobs and updates. No pressure, just if you'd like to get in touch with me, ask questions, and just talk in general, tag me on there, Meteomri, Meteomri. I'll be happy to answer everybody. I have promised you a quick recap, so let's read about what happened on May 16th, the outbreak during Friday. A deadly outbreak of severe storms swept across the US, Midwest and South, leaving a devastating trail of destruction and claiming at least 23 lives in Kentucky, Missouri, Virginia, and other states. Kentucky bore the brunt of the tragedy, with 14 fatalities reported, making it the hardest hit area. The storms erupted from a potent weather system that unleashed tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail, following warnings from the National Weather Service about extreme atmospheric instability. Among the most destructive incidents was a tornado that touched down in Laurel County, southeastern Kentucky around 11:30 p.m., causing widespread chaos and devastation. In Missouri, St. Louis faced significant impacts, with over 5,000 homes damaged and the scenes of crumbled buildings and overturned vehicles on I-75 in Kentucky painting a stark picture of the storm's power. More about that later. Electrical grids were crippled across multiple states, leaving more than 600,000 customers without power. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear called for prayers and warned that the death toll could rise as rescue teams continued their search efforts. In London, Kentucky, Mayor Randall Weddle spoke somberly about the profound impact of the night's events on the community. Meanwhile, a particularly destructive tornado struck downtown St. Louis, reducing densely populated areas to wreckage and debris. Another extraordinary event was the year's longest tornado warned storm, a monstrous system stretching over 450 miles from eastern Missouri to eastern Texas. The storm's path was so severe that its current landscape could be seen from space as a pale line amidst the surrounding greenery. Despite the ongoing search and rescue operations, meteorologists predict a brief reprieve from severe weather for the Midwestern Ohio Valley this weekend, but the road to recovery is still beginning. That's all from this episode, guys. I will keep updating you as soon as new information will pop up, but make sure to go into official websites, get informed through the radio, through your local emergency manager, and keep being curious. Up until next time, I'll see you then.